So let's say you're walking on the beach and you want to go fishing, but you don't have any fishing supplies. No pole, no bait, no hooks, no weight, nothing. But you're not the type to let that stop you. You're going to catch some fish no matter what. So I'm going to show you the steps you can take to try to catch some fish without having any fishing supplies. So once you've made the decision that you want to go fishing, the next step, if possible, is to find a stick. So as you're walking along the beach, take a look around you for any fallen trees, any sticks that can be a potential fishing rod. All right, so this stick that I just found looks pretty good. You don't want the stick to be old and dry, or else it'll be brittle and it'll snap too easily. Maybe if you just bend it and where it breaks, there you go. That'll get a nice 4 or 5 pound fish on there. So step number 1 is complete. So the next step is your most important step, and that is to find your line and your hook. Now where I'm at is at a jetty, and the jetty is shaped like an L. So the first spots that you want to look for a hook or a line are where there's going to be a concentration of fishermen. Think of it like a bell curve. There's going to be a lot of concentrated hooks and lines in one area, and as you taper off, there's not going to be as many. So think of the jetty in that way, or think of any beach in that way. There's going to be anomalies on the edges, but in the center is where most hooks are going to be. So you have to find fishing line and a fishing hook. That's the most important thing. Rags and garbage and all kinds of stuff all over the place, ropes and old fishing line. Oh look, I found it, I found one. Alright, after a little bit of searching, I found the hook. If you look closely, it's a little bit rusty. I was afraid that it would be too rusty and it would just snap, but luckily it's not. You can see the shiny metal underneath, and if I scratch off the rust, more of that metal gets exposed. So I'm just going to rub this against the rocks, get it as sharp as possible, and attach it to my pole. Next step, get some bait. Step after that, catch some fish. As I was looking for a hook, I came across all this line that I collected. I've got some thin line, some really thick line, and I think I got one more in here. Oh, here it is. A kind of medium line, and I'm going to use this to attach to my stick. How I'm going to attach it to my pole is that I'm simply going to have it there, and I want about 2 inches or so of the hook to be dangling off like that. What I'm going to do is take that line that I found and simply wrap it around the stick multiple times. Keep wrapping it around, wrap it as tight as possible. So you want to wrap down one way and then wrap all the way back up again. Alright, this is the most important step to attaching the hook to your pole. So what you want to do is, if you can see that, get an extra line, kind of loop it around like that. Just continue wrapping as you were and make your way all the way down to the end. Alright, now that there's a little bit of line left, about 3 inches or so, you put that line through that loop that you made, and with the 2 ends of the extra line, you pull that through, and it should pull all the extra line up to where you've been wrapping it. So now it's tight. You can see that it's not going anywhere. Find a sharp rock and cut off all this extra line. See, I can pull that as hard as I want, and I know it's not going to break. The second most important thing after your hook is the bait. Once we catch some bait, then we can start fishing. Now, if you're lucky enough to find yourself at the beach at low tide, you'll easily be able to find yourself some crabs, snails, clams, mussels, worms, all different types of bait. And if you catch several worms, one way that you can store them is to get some seaweed and use that as a makeshift pouch. You'll easily be able to transport them that way. Now, I don't see why a fish wouldn't want to eat this right here. Got a little bit of rust on the hook to hold the worm on also. Alright, let's try to catch a fish, baby. I think we don't need all of that. Cut that extra off. Alright, let's do it. my stick that I found, my hook that I found, and my line that I found is able to catch this really nice rockfish. You know, there's a lot of meat on this guy too. This would not be a bad meal, especially if you were hungry and starving. Now I want that worm back because that's what I've been fishing with. Give me that worm back. So if this was a survival situation, then I would eat this heart. What I like to do is to just grab all of the gills, get as close to the mouth as possible, and just rip those straight out.